President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of a new board and management team of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Chiedu Ebie from Delta State is the new chairman, while the current managing director and chief executive officer, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku from Bayelsa State, retains his position. Boma Iyaye, River State, has been named executive director, finance and administration. Victor Antai, Akwa Ibom State, is executive director, projects, and Ifedayo Abegunde, Ondo State, is executive director of corporate services. State representatives are Senator Dimaro Denyambofa Bayelsa, Abasi Ndikan Nkono, Akwa Ibom, Monday Igbuya Delta, Tony Okocha Rivers, Patrick Aisowere Edo, Kirian Uchegu Imo, Victor Kolade Akinjo Ondo, Dingba Eruba Abia, and Asu Okuokang Cross River Zonal. While zonal representatives are Nick Wende for North Central, Namdas Abdul Razak for Northeast, and Senator Dr. Ibrahim Abdullahi Gober for Northwest. The president says he expects the 17-man board and management team to ensure a new era of successful administration in the NDDC in line with his renewed hope agenda. Joining us now from Bayelsa State is King Bubaraye Dakolo, Chairman, Bayelsa Traditional Rulers Council. Good morning, King Dakolo, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning to you, Arise team.
Thank you. We'll go straight to the question, to my first question to you, and that is, I've listed the names of the 17-man board and management team of the NDDC. What's your take on this? Are you satisfied with the appointment of the president with regards to the NDDC board?
Yes, I want to particularly thank His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, for appointing this board on time. I know in the past we've suffered situations where we had interim administrations forever. So I want to thank him so much. And then particularly for retaining Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, whom I know personally, and then Dimaro. So for the Bayelsa representatives, I know them both. I know both of them very well. And I believe that same quality of personalities are appointed in other states. And so we look towards a success. We look towards a major deviation from the past, because NDDC has been a show of shame in the past with countless failed projects and phantom projects. But I think so far, the few months the MD, Dr. Ogbuku, has been in charge, there has been major innovations, major changes towards effectiveness. So we are hoping for the best outcome this season.
Okay, Your Royal Majesty, great to see you. I have seen you on our station a couple of times or so, and you have spoken truth to power. On this occasion, let me try and get you to do the same again. From record, NDDC is supposed to be a powerful agency of government that will deliver goods to the people of Niger Delta. First, can you say that that is the case? Because just 2-3 questions that I will ask, but I want quick answers so that we can move on to other issues. So can you say that NDDC has performed over the years anything compared to being a powerful tool of agency of government delivering service to the people of Niger Delta? Can you say that, in all honesty?
Well, I will say no. NDDC has failed woefully in delivering its mandate after over 20 years. Like I said before, with countless phantom projects, countless failed projects, and well over 20 trillion, a good percentage of 20 trillion has been expended without the what it stands for being realized. And it is supposed to liaise with state governments and perhaps the local governments to complement them, which means to help them in areas of shortfall to ensure that every state takes a quick leap forward towards development. It has a perfect act. It came out of a perfect act. It came out of the failure, woeful failure of Umpadek, and then the NDDC was born. And so the law bringing about NDDC is in very good shape. Unfortunately, NDDC has acted more or less like a conduit for political patronage in the last 20 or so years. And we don't want that to continue. I believe that this board will not let that continue. Unfortunately, when these things happen, what happens is that the MD will be called to, or MD, or okay, the board members or MD will be called to EFCC today, EFCC tomorrow, and then by the time they finish milking whatever he may have stolen, he walks free. You remember the last time we had a major drama in the National Assembly, where we were introduced a new phrase, off the mic, off the mic. So if you don't want me to say the truth, you just say off the mic, and then
yes.
I off the
okay,
mic.
Excellent.
That is how dramatic the NDDC has been so far. So it's been a colossal failure.
So colossal failure, phantom projects, uncompleted projects, money giving out to contractors, and we don't see the work done. Fantastic. Now, please help us understand. Do you think this new constituted board of NDDC are not just cronies of government and people in government? Do you think they're not? And why do you think they're not, if you do think they're going to be the best to move NDDC forward?
Well, like I said, I know two persons there personally, so I believe that they will do the job. But irrespective of the personal character of each of these persons, what has made NDDC continue to fail is not necessarily the bad or evil character of the actors, but it is more of how they are appointed and how, because the institutions of government in Nigeria are also comatose. For instance, any NDDC MD or NDDC chairman or NDDC board, if they embezzle money, it is not for their village masquerade to go and kill them. It is supposed to be the Nigerian police or EFCC to take them and arraign them and ensure that they face the law. But most Nigerians think that the Niger Delta people, for instance, should go and beat up their appointees because they didn't perform well. No, the police, it is its job to ensure that anybody there follows the rules. If he's not following the rules, he should be arraigned. But if, for instance, he goes and then because of where he's appointed from, they begin to make him to dance a jasco that is different from what the mandate says, he will perhaps have no choice. And then before you know it, we are having off the mic, off the mic. Why do you think that the forensic audit does not have a result for you to see? Because everybody you know has his name inside except mine and yours perhaps. Everybody you know that has been a major player in this country's political game has his name inside, contaminated in it. That's why they can't release the list. So let them release the list and let's see. So it is not even about these people. For these ones, like the ones I know they are going to do well. Okay. But if the system begins to squeeze them, if the system begins to compel them to misbehave, they may have no choice than to misbehave. So it's about the system. Will the Nigerian police please do its job? Will the EFCC please do its job? Will the state CID that it used to be, what SIIB or what, all those agencies that are supposed to make Nigerians behave according to the law should wake up. If those ones are comatose, I can tell you that it may again just be another game.
Two questions. Number one will be, what would you say about various allegations of hijacking of this NDDC in the past and probably in the future too, or even in the present, by different interests? And you hear things as much as even up to the cup of tea served in offices, there are interests that supply them. What would you say? There's also a quick...
Yes, I have.
Hang on a minute, sir. Hang on a minute, sir. Your Highness, sir, please. So sorry. There's also a message of a protest going around, signed by one Dr. Edem Ebong, State Coordinator, Amalgamated APC Support Groups in Nigeria, Cross River State Chapter, saying that they should, converge to protest against appointment of a certain Okang in the NDDC board. So there are discordant tunes everywhere as regards this decision even being made in the first place. So what's your take as regards all of this, while the people of Niger Delta keep on suffering, owing to the fact that we've been talking about the Development Commission for the Niger Delta since the 1963 Constitution?
Well, yes, so thank you so much. The truth is, the suffering is not necessarily caused by the Niger Delta people. The suffering is caused by the Nigerian system. Now, Mr. President has the powers to appoint whom he wants to appoint, and so he has appointed. And I think that all those who are not happy, who are disgruntled, should just relax and wait for next time. I think that's what I will advise. Yes, sometimes the appointments may not be the best if from one's point of view, but then again, it's the president that has the powers to appoint, and so he has done so. And so if you want to make it the way you want it, maybe you go and be Mr. President next season, and then you can appoint the way you want to appoint. Now, there is, in the past, there has been a manipulation. It's like having puppets and having someone who holds the strings. And the strings are held there in Abuja by the appointing authorities and those who have the powers to approve the budget or not approve the budget. I mean, you just go back and play that tape where Akpabio had to say, off the mic. No, not Akpabio. Someone told Akpabio to off the mic because he wanted to sing the Canary song. And then, of course, those persons who were interviewing him at the time were all culpable, more or less. So it has been like a political patronage organization. Those sects out of the agitations of the Niger Delta for the purpose of development of the Niger Delta. The Niger Delta people are just being deceived because they make sure that from somewhere else they keep manipulating the outcome and manipulating the outcome. And so, like I said before, in the neighborhood of about 20 trillion naira has been spent there. Close to $100 billion has been spent there. And these monies are not in the Niger Delta for you to see. They've been frittered away into private pockets. They are there as estates in Abuja and wonderful houses in Banana Island and somewhere in Lagos, and then even some properties abroad. So, what we are saying here, what I've emphasized here, is about law enforcement. Can EFCC, for instance, stand tall enough such that if you are there in that board, if you are there as a worker in NDDC, you will not want to go against the law because the law will take its course? Will the Nigerian police be effective, please, for once, so that if you are appointed there, you are working there, you will not sway, because if you do, there is a price for it. For most of us in the Niger Delta, we just feel that whenever we look at these things and we speak out and we end up having a commission like the NDDC, it is just a deception. As beautiful as the law is, the system also ensures that the law does not work. They don't allow it to work. So even if you are well-intended and you come in there, people will pull strings around your very vital parts to the point where you get uncomfortable. And of course, because things are difficult in Nigeria most of the time, you may want to just keep going on until your season passes. So that has been the result. So the NDDC resources, those trillions I'm talking about, are found in most of the states of this country. In fact, less of it is found in the Niger Delta. So they are found in the northeast, they are found in the north central, they are found in the north, they are found in the west, they are found in the east, and so on and so forth. Very little amount of it is found in the Niger Delta.
Right, okay, so the president has demonstrated his commitment to the Niger Delta. First, we have a ministry, the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, and now we have the board of the NDDC constituted in the first 100 days of his administration. However, you said something repeatedly, and that is the fact that in the past, the NDDC board and the NDDC as a whole has been fraught with corruption, citing the off-your-mic moment in the House. What are some of the measures? Do you think that before work begins with this new board, there should be a probe, an investigation? Let us have that. Well, I don't know if Senator Akpabio would be willing to now divulge the information he was going to at the point, but do you think there should be a forensic audit, an investigation, a probe of the affairs of NDDC so far as a deterrent, like you've mentioned, so that anyone who's found culpable can be brought to book? And then going forward, in the first few, let's say 6 months of this new board, what would you like to see in the area of development in the Niger Delta region?
Okay, yes, so it is left to the authorities of this country. So like I said, the Nigerian police, the EFCC, and then there is a forensic audit report that is somewhere that should be released. that should be a good starting point. I don't think they have to go ahead and do a new audit all over again. There's one that they did. Let them bring it and bring it out, and then retrieve monies from all of those who have taken these resources. But like I said, there's some kind of cold feet because everybody's name is in there. So that is a good way to start. And then for the new management, the MD, I think in the last few months, has already done some innovations. He's looking at private-public partnership, some kind of new method where the private sector will be directly involved, such that they will be accountable to the people. And yes, there's supposed to be an annual audit of NDDC or a quarterly audit of NDDC. I mean, where are the bodies that are supposed to do that? The institutions that are supposed to do that? Are they doing it? If they are doing it, where are the results? So all of these should be done so that the NDDC will achieve its mandate, at least this particular board. And because there are young people, there are people who are inclined towards development, there are people who have been active agitators. Yes, like Dr. Buku has been an activist of the Niger Delta. So we are hoping that given the right atmosphere, if people do not twist him, I believe that he is going to perform. And that is what we want the institutions of Nigeria to help in complementing. They should assist the NDDC to perform as much as possible. And like, yes, it's a little painful when you come from this part of the world to see, for instance, the East-West Road that is being constructed forever. All these are things that could have been achieved in a few years. But forever, since I was born and now I'm getting old, the East-West Road is still under construction. And you remember last year, the East-West Road was cut off two ends, at the eastern end and the western end. So Bayelsa State became isolated. We couldn't be accessed by our people and by people from other states. And those damages are still there. They are still like gaping sores, you know, gaping ulcerations, so to speak. In a few months, the Cameroonians have opened their dam here, and so the flood waters are coming downstream. In a while, it may just be worse, far worse than last year, because those places that were damaged last year are still even not fixed. So what I'm saying here is the NDDC, yes, the act is nice, and sometimes some of the people appointed there are good, but the arrangement of Nigeria, the Nigerian contraption, you know, the Abuja there, the lawmakers, and those who have what they call the oversight function of having to allow the NDDC do its work well, twist the NDDC to the point where they dictate what happens. Like you said, yes, who supplies pure water, who supplies coconut water, and so on and so forth. They take full charge. I mean, we heard the other time where one particular man had close to 300 contracts, just himself alone. So if that happens, and some of the contracts, like I said, are phantom. Phantom means there's no contract anywhere, there's only paperwork, and then you're collecting money, you know, in multiples of millions of naira, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, when they even try to go and do some jobs sometime, they do not properly liaise with the states. They do not liaise even with the communities. They just see something being done somewhere that serves nobody other than the interest of the contractor and some of his benefactors who are there in NDC or somewhere in Abuja.
Yeah, thank you, Your Royal Majesty. As we let you go in just about 30 seconds, can you tell us and respond to those people who say that the problem of the Niger Delta region is not government, is not the NDDC or Niger Delta Ministry, it's the people of the Niger Delta? How do you respond to them in just 30 seconds so that we can wrap up?
That is a complete lie. It is a show of maximum ignorance. The problems of the Niger Delta is largely the Nigerian state. The Nigeria as a nation is making sure that Niger Delta does not develop. And so it picks and chooses who to put there, and whoever they put there, they manipulate from Abuja such that he becomes impotent. That is the story. They should go and read a little more and find out why things do not work in this country. It's not the Niger Delta people.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you.